The 1965 to 1966 NBA season was the 20th season of the National Basketball Association. The season began on October 15, 1965 and ended on March 22, 1996. The number 1 draft pick was Fred Hetzel, selected by the San Francisco Warriors. Spot World, what's going on? Welcome to NBA Rap. Those were some quick facts about this season. Let's jump right into the team records. The Philadelphia 76ers led the league and the East with a 55-win, 25-loss record, followed by the Boston Celtics, 54 wins, 26 losses, Cincinnati Royals, 45-35, and New York Knicks missing the playoffs, 30 wins, 50 losses. The Los Angeles Lakers led the West with a 45-win, 35-loss record, followed by the Baltimore Bullets, 38-42, St. Louis Hawks, 36-44, San Francisco Warriors, 35-45, missing the playoffs, and Detroit Pistons, 22 wins, 58 losses, missing the playoffs. Let's jump into our season leaders and all-star game. The scoring champion of the season was Wilt Chamberlain of the Philadelphia 76ers, amassing 2,649 points, averaging 33.5 points per game. He was also the rebound leader, amassing 1,943 rebounds, averaging 24.6 rebounds a game. Leading the league in assists was Oscar Robertson of the Cincinnati Royals, with 847 assists, averaging 11.1 assists per game. The 16th National Basketball Association All-Star Game was played on January 11, 1966 at Cincinnati Gardens in Cincinnati. The game was nationally televised with an attendance of 13,653 people. At this point in the season, the East Division's top 3 teams, Boston, Philadelphia, and Cincinnati, had the 3 best records in the league, with New York trailing far behind. This led East coach Red Auerbach to name Cincinnati's Adrian Smith as a reserve and not New York sharpshooting Dick Barnett, a source of some controversy at the time. The home crowd rallied behind Smith as he emerged as the game's star. It was Smith's only All-Star appearance, and he remains to date the only one-time NBA All-Star ever named the event's MVP. The Eastern Conference All-Stars were Jerry Lucas, Oscar Robertson, and Adrian Smith of the Cincinnati Royals, Wilt Chamberlain, Hal Greer, and Chet Walker of the Philadelphia 76ers, Willis Reed of the New York Knicks, and John Havlicek, Sam Jones, and Bill Russell of the Boston Celtics. They were coached by Red Auerbach of the Boston Celtics. The Western Conference stars were Rick Barry, Nate Thurmond, and Guy Rodgers of the San Francisco Warriors, Eddie Miles and Dave Bouchier of the Detroit Pistons, Zelmo Beatty of the St. Louis Hawks, Bailey Howell and Don Ohl of the Baltimore Bullets, and Jerry West, Rudy LaRusso, and Gail Goodrich of the Los Angeles Lakers. They were coached by Fred Schayes of the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's get into our award winners of the season, and you know we need that Rookie of the Year award here in Spot World. Hit that like button right now. Subscribe if you're new, please. It really helps out, and it's free. This season's most valuable player went to Wilt Chamberlain of the Philadelphia 76ers. The Rookie of the Year went to Rick Barry of the San Francisco Warriors. And the Coach of the Year went to Dolph Schayes of the Philadelphia 76ers. The All-NBA First Team featured Rick Barry of the San Francisco Warriors, averaging 25.7 points per game, 2.2 assists per game, and 10.6 rebounds per game. Jerry Lucas of the Cincinnati Royals, averaging 21.5 points per game, 2.7 assists per game, and 21.1 rebounds per game. Wilt Chamberlain of the Philadelphia 76ers, averaging 33.5 points per game, 5.2 assists per game, and 24.6 rebounds per game. Oscar Robertson of the Cincinnati Royals, averaging 31.3 points per game, 11.1 assists per game, and 7.7 rebounds per game. And Jerry West of the Los Angeles Lakers, averaging 31.3 points per game, 6.1 assists per game, and 7.1 rebounds per game. The All-NBA Second Team featured Hal Greer of the Philadelphia 76ers, averaging 22.7 points per game, 4.8 assists per game, and 5.9 rebounds per game. Sam Jones of the Boston Celtics, averaging 23.5 points per game, 3.2 assists per game, and 5.2 rebounds per game. Bill Russell of the Boston Celtics, averaging 12.9 points per game, 4.8 assists per game, and 22.8 rebounds per game. Gus Johnson of the Baltimore Bullets, averaging 16.1 points per game, 2.7 assists per game, and 13 rebounds per game. John Havlicek of the Boston Celtics, averaging 18.8 points per game, 3 assists per game, and 6 rebounds per game. The NBA All-Rookie First Team featured Tom Van Arsdale Arsdale of the Detroit Pistons, Rick Barry of the San Francisco Warriors, Dick Van Arsdale of the New York Knicks, Billy Cunningham of the Philadelphia 76ers, and Fred Hetzel of the San Francisco Warriors. We made it to the most important part of the season. Let's see who the chip is going to this year. The 1966 NBA playoffs began on March 23rd, 1966. In the Eastern Division semifinals, the 3-seeded Cincinnati Royals jumped to a 2-1 series lead behind Oscar Robinson and Jerry Lucas. But the 2-seeded Boston Celtics were able to recover and won the next 2 games to advance. In the West, the 3-seed St. Louis Hawks swept the Baltimore Bullets 3-0. The Eastern Division Finals saw the Philadelphia 76ers, who had 2 weeks off, still on the court. The Sixers couldn't keep up with the Celtics and lost in 5 games. The series defeat cost Coach of the Year Dolph Schayes his job in Philadelphia. The West Division Finals saw the Lakers go up 3-1, then the Hawks even up the series to force a Game 7. Ultimately, the Lakers, led by a 35-point performance by Jerry West, took the series to move on to the NBA Finals. The 1966 NBA Finals began on April 17th. This was the Boston Celtics' 10th straight Finals appearance, which tied the North American professional sports record set by the National Hockey League's Montreal Canadiens from 1951 to 1960 and the National Football League's Cleveland Browns from 1946 to 1955. This was the Lakers' 4th Finals in 5 seasons and the 5th meeting between these teams. In Game 1, the Celtics led 121 to 119 with 30 seconds to go in the 4th. Bill Russell blocked the Elgin Baylor shot but was called for goaltending. This sent the game into overtime and the Lakers managed to steal the game on the road, winning 133 to 129. After the game, Coach Red Auerbach, who had said before the season began that this would be his last, announced that Bill Russell would become player coach in the next season. He would be the first African American to coach in the NBA. The Celtics came back in Game 2, holding Jerry West and Elgin Baylor to a combined 31 points and winning 129 to 109. For the first time in 5 years, the Celtics were able to win a Game 3 of the Finals, powered by a game-high 36-point output by Sam Jones. Boston won 120 to 106. The Boston Celtics finished the road trip strong behind John Havlicek's 32 points, giving them a 3-1 lead and a 122 to 117 victory. The Celtics tried to finish off the series at home in Game 5. However, the Lakers stars Jerry West and Elgin Baylor scored 60% of the team's points, combining for 72 points and a 121 to 117 win. The Lakers were able to win Game 6 at home 123 to 115 and push the series to a Game 7. In Game 7, the Celtics raced out to a huge lead and held off a late Los Angeles rally to win the game 95 to 93 and send Coach Red Auerbach out a champion. Boston won its 8th consecutive league title, which no other team has ever achieved in North American professional sports competition. Spa World, that's wraps on today's episode of NBA Wrapped. If you made it this far, please hit that like button. If you're new and you learned something new, hit that sub button. And you can keep learning ball in this video right here.